Yeah.
Got any game face?
I'm good.
Hey YouTube, welcome back. Thanks for following us on this Hope for Survival journey. And today's kind of a special day because I get to connect with Brother Otis and Mrs. Otis, who are visiting from down in their neck of the woods near Atlanta. And they traveled up to East Tennessee, so we're going to break some bread and spend a little time here together. And Brother Otis, good to see you.
As always, good to see you too.
Thanks for inviting me here, sharing your time.
Anything I can ever do to help, you know that.
Hey, we always enjoy our time together, our conversations over the phone or wherever it might be, discussing everything in the preparedness realm, estate planning, finances, faith, upcoming events where you can go to preparedness camps and all kinds of stuff, and it's all good stuff. So I wanted to get Otis's thoughts on something that has kind of been lingering in my thoughts for a little while now, and I just want to kind of get his opinion of it. And that is, when you encounter folks who are into prepping or into preparedness, and they come in all forms, you know, where do you feel that many go wrong? Where is it their focus is wrong? Is it they're spending too much on A and not enough on B? Is it they're buying stuff and stocking it and not getting skills? Or what do you see? What do you think?
The priorities, I believe, on a lot of people are they just have them out of order on a lot of things. Number one priority should always be their faith. They should always have that squared away first, because without that, you have nothing. They need to know where you're going to spend eternity. Second thing, a lot of people aren't as focused on as I think they should be, and I could be totally wrong, but your physical health, you should really have that at the top of your list. And you ain't got to go out and run miles every day, but do something. Get your yearly checkups. If you're having any difficulties, work on getting all that fixed to the best of what you can. And then you can focus on a lot of your survival preparedness. Because in my book, those two are the top priorities for survival preparedness, whether there's an event or not.
Correct. You got to survive every day.
You got to survive daily. And then I don't think enough people focus on on water. Water is a big thing. The ability to collect it, the ability to sanitize it, the ability to store it properly. And I don't really think that's an expensive venture. You gotta have a plan, and you gotta do something. Because your rules of 3, that one's right there at the top. 3 seconds without air, 3 days without, or 3 hours without shelter, and then 3 days without water. That's pretty top priority.
3 weeks without food.
Yeah, 3 weeks without food. So I think those are some of your biggest priorities. And then I see a lot of people. They spend a lot of money buying gear, and then they never even take it out of the package. They never even try it. They don't even know if it works. We just bought some new taillight assemblies for my wife's truck. Brand new, nice ones. Within 1 week, one side failed already, had a defect. Bulbs blew out. Well, had I not got them out of the package and hooked them up, we'd have never known that.
Yeah.
So if we had needed those lights, well, now in this world, I can take them back off, send them back. They're going to give me a refund, send me new ones, whatever. So you have to try your stuff just to see if it's defective. With everything coming from China these days, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's defective right out of the box. Get it out, try it, make sure it works, and then make sure you know how to use it. I mean, that's some of the biggest things I've seen.
I think another area where there's some shortfalls too. You know, I commend anyone who makes a decision, if it fits and it's right for them, for self-defense, to get proper training, to buy a firearm if that's what they choose, not based off of what someone tells them to buy. They go down, they size it up with their hand and so forth, and then they go fire and so forth. But one of the things that's lacking is
training.
Is an understanding. One is the firearm's effective range and maximum effective range, right? And based on your territory or your property, how that firearm will work for you in an offensive or defensive.
What to use and where.
Yeah. And another thing is training with misfires, stovepipes, jams.
How to change those mags.
Yeah, and how to do it in the dark, right?
You have to practice it until it's muscle memory.
Yeah.
I used to make my wife, when she first started, she was using a revolver. So I would sit there and make her load and unload the gun with her speed loader in the living room watching TV. You know, just drop them, put another in, and you know, just sit there and do it till it became so repetitive she could do it with her eyes closed. And then when she graduated up to using a mag-fed gun, did the same thing right there in the living room.
Yeah.
Dropping, and they were empty mags, but you can open it, you can drop it, you can close the chamber, you can use your thumb release. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff, and you can just practice. Make sure you're doing it safe, you know.
Yeah, we bought some a couple years ago.
Rubber dummy rounds,
and I'd pack Miss Lucy's magazine and hand it to her, and she'd fire and get to the jam, and she would. I didn't tell her there were dummy rounds in it. And she would just like look at me like, "What do I do now?" It's like, I don't know, figure it out.
I've taught.
If you pull the trigger and it won't fire, you know, it's like, what's the first thing you're going to do? Tap the mag. And
tap and rack. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think your faith. I agree with you on the faith, and you know, there's your health. Since we started this thing about 6 years ago, six and a half years ago, you know, we've all aged, and I think in this past 6 months to a year, communicating out with folks, more folks are enduring health problems. Right.
And I've got my own theories on some of that, but
you know, if you're telling me your water plan is I gotta walk 100 yards to the water source, right? And
collected,
and you're gonna collect your water in gallon jugs, we'll say, and then you're gonna load them into a wagon and pull them back. If you can't unload 5 bags of groceries from your vehicle into your house,
you're going to have a hard time pulling that.
So
1 gallon's 8 pounds.
Yeah.
Plus the container, plus the wagon. Each person needs a minimum 1 gallon a day.
So it's not a criticism. What I'm saying is you, in your mind, you're saying this is how I'm going to do this task, but have you either went out and performed it?
Yeah.
Have you logically applied your current condition, and as your condition changes,
can I still do that?
It's kind of like firing the little Keltec 9mm foldable, right?
The sub 2000.
Yeah. Miss Lucy loves it, but because I have plates in my neck, I can't fire it.
You can't get over far enough, so you have to get
right?
You have to adapt something that
but
you
if
can
I
use.
But you know, if you gotta, like, for the average person, if you fired it for something to at 3 a.m. up and run out of your house with, throw over your shoulder with a short on your hip, you know, it's excellent. It's lightweight. You can whip it around. It's not too bad in quarters compared to
Close
a long
quarter,
gun. You know, if it fits, wear it, and that's where so many people.
But you have to know that it fits.
Yeah.
You have to try it. You know, it's like we were talking about the training. I have taught plenty of training classes from ages 6 years old to 80 years old. That you have to get the training. You have to go try it.
Yeah, and it's not a time to impress.
It's a time to learn.
It's a time to learn and figure out. It's been 10 years since I last went
Did
through
any
this
training?
class,
Yeah.
and guess what? I'm half
I
the
forgot
speed.
half of it. Or
Yeah.
or I can't do it as quick as I used to.
Yeah.
Or dadgum, that sure is heavy now, you
Yeah.
know. And there's nothing wrong with that. It happens to all of us. So you adapt and overcome, you modify, and you figure out how to do it.
You got to accept the fact
Yeah.
that your
I can't
brain,
do what I did 10 years ago. I can promise you that, and I'm not really that old.
Your brain will get your body in trouble.
Yeah, real quick. So you have to find out what you still can do, and then you can try and fix some of the problems. You can exercise, you can modify things, you can try and improve your situation, but you got to know what that situation is. That's one thing this guy has really taught me. Always be aware of your situation and be doing experiments to find out what's really going on. He's doing one on me tonight. Bet you money.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, whatever.
It's kind of comical.
I know him pretty good.
I was just telling. I was just sharing on another Hope for Survival platform with folks. Over the last 10 to 15 years, everything that's going on, everything that's happened, seriously think of how much of this is psychological.
Oh yeah.
Right? So
psyops, baby.
So oftentimes in the presence of Brother Otis and Mrs. Otis and other folks, they'll just be staring at me because they always
know.
They always know there's a purpose why.
There's an objective for everything. That's one thing he's taught me. Always have an objective and an agenda.
Always try to mix and match personalities.
And that's
to
good.
See how they're going to fit together, because it's not saying that this person
are bad.
No, but you may have these personalities down in your region that is part of a group that's comparable here, but how are they blending?
To anything.
Oh, yeah.
It can apply to your job. It can apply to the gas station, the grocery store, a survival group. It can apply to a church. It can apply to anything, and you need to know how to handle those situations.
Yeah. It's kind of like
practice.
Yeah. It's kind of like a scenario, say in a church, right? Depending on the size of your church, if you have security, hopefully you have, depending how, when you walk in the pulpit, how the pews are set up and
how it's organized.
Hopefully you have at least 1 to 2 security folks at the front and some in the rear, right? But hopefully there's 1 or 2 at the front and they're staring at that pastor, right? And they're watching. But but no one knows their security.
Yeah, exactly.
So 5 or 10 rows back, in the middle of his sermon, someone stands up
and starts approaching.
And they start approaching and they start yelling at and they're pointing at and so on and so forth.
Someone can intercept
the security guys are watching the pastor and they're not looking out the back of their head. And hopefully the security in the back is talking in their ear. But one of the things, if you ever take a course or have called verbal judo, one of the things that they teach you that is great, and you don't have to just use it at church, you can use it about anywhere, is that one of those security guys is going to stand up and he's going to start yelling at the preacher, like the guy
distract the other
that's
guy,
the
yeah.
unknown, and it's going to throw the other guy off, right? And in the meantime, while the bad guy is looking at
The other guy.
the other guy who
Distraction.
is supporting what he's saying, is that your security can move in on him, right? Or you can
Use it just to slow it down,
deflate-
anything, yeah, or
deflate,
de-escalate the situation.
de-escalate. Yeah,
I was on the
It's
security
thinking on
team.
your feet.
Yeah, I was on the security team at our previous church, and our local law enforcement had a program, and you could get them to come out, and they would go over situations that happened at churches throughout the U.S.
Yeah.
And they had a really, really good, detailed, video-based program, and it's stuff that never hits the news because they don't want it to hit the news, and it was all free. I mean, it really, and then they did a physical assessment. They walked through our entire building. They told us a lot of good information. They checked out our first aid kits, our trauma kits, everything. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah,
And it was free. All you gotta do is ask, you know.
Church security teams are great,
Mm-hmm.
but in so many churches in America, they're going about it in a way that they're really putting the security personnel at risk
Mm-hmm.
because,
We don't have a plan.
well, if one of those security reps fires a firearm and hits a church member,
Yeah.
or
You have to have a plan for
right?
that. If you,
well, you
yeah.
gotta have a plan, but there's also a liability there, and a lot of the churches, these individuals are representing the church in the role of security personnel,
Mhm.
and if a lawsuit's filed, that individual's going to get hung out to dry,
Mhm.
right? And there's some really good legal classes
Mhm.
that teach state and federal law on these.
Yeah.
And Festus and I were part of a large security team. There was almost 40 of us
Mhm.
at a church where we used to live. And the church, supported everything we were doing. Everything was in writing. We had, before we could step into the role of security rep for that, in the name of that church, we had to attend 2 8-hour class days of legal classes, right? We had to have background checks conducted on us
Yeah, we had to have that.
locally. Had to go to the firing range and qualify. Then we went, I think, every 6 months to a firing range with an official course of fire. But the big thing was the church also had liability insurance for all of us in the event we got killed or we got sued, that we wouldn't lose everything.
We have our own, Miss Otis and I have our own firearm program or insurance. It's through an attorney system, U.S. Law Shield.
Yep.
And we have that just to protect us in any situation, you know.
Yep.
And it's very affordable.
Yeah, anyone that carries
Should do it.
It's something to
Think about.
Especially in the world that we're living in today in America, man, with all these liberal state attorney generals and these liberal district attorneys and liberal prosecutors, and
You got to protect yourself legally as well as physically.
yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
'Cause you can be totally in the right, and you still just get put in jail for 50 days and lose everything. So you got to have something.
Yeah, and even if you're not guilty, once the media gets a hold of
Oh
it,
yeah,
you're destroyed.
yeah, it hurts.
You're going to lose your job in most cases.
You need to have something, some type of retainer system to protect you.
So for an individual who approaches you right now and they're just getting started, based on where the world's at and the climate we're living in today in America and around, what would be the top 3 things you would suggest to them that they need to do first?
I mean, a personal assessment of themselves, which would include their faith and their health. And then, minimum 30-day supply of food and water. And then they could address their own personal security. And then there's always some good books that they could buy. But you have to do something. That's what I would suggest first. Personal assessment of yourself, your faith and your health, and then food and water, and then security. And you don't have to. I mean, you can still do all that very reasonably.
Yeah. You can get it's gone up a little bit, but still, sometimes you got to get down off your hobby horse and look at reality.
Yeah.
But you can get quite a bit of food at Dollar General.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
and then
shop
just
there.
when you're at the regular grocery store, just buy one extra of whatever you're buying. Buy one extra. Get you a plastic tote. You get them cheap at the Walmarts. Set your extra stuff in it, label it, and set it to the side. Don't touch it. After 6 months, then you can start rotating some of it, but you don't want to use it and not replace it. But you can. It will build up so quick, so easy, just by buying one extra. But the key is you don't use it, and you don't have to go out and buy all the 7-gallon buckets and all the freeze dried. You don't have to do that to begin with. Buy the stuff you're gonna eat. Canned food lasts so much longer than they pretend that it does with your best buy dates. I mean, I have eaten, as long as it isn't dented or frozen and popped, I've eaten cans that were 10, 15 years past their best buy. I've eaten MREs from the Vietnam era.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. They didn't taste that good, but I'm still here.
Yeah, you can get, for the price of one of those pre-packed buckets, and there's a difference in buckets. You can buy buckets that's nothing but beans and nothing but rice.
One component versus,
I'm talking the mixed meal.
Yeah, breakfast or a 30-day supply or whatever.
From vendors.
Yeah.
That are anywhere from $80 up. You can buy a lot of pasta, oatmeal, beans, rice. You can buy a lot of food. I did a video a year or two ago where I showed on there everything that I bought to pack 5-gallon buckets that came
with the Mylar bag and everything. If you want to do it that way, you don't have to.
No.
You can put it in a tote and just throw some duct tape on the edge, and in a year from now, use a little of it. Check on it, restock it. You can be surprised how quick you can store up food. And very inexpensively.
And I know it's hard for a lot of people. Something else that I encourage people, usually I encourage them to do is, if at all possible, get out of debt.
Oh yeah.
Get your finances manageable, especially in the era where we're at right now.
Below your means.
Yeah. You want to own. You don't want to be owned. And the freedom that you have in that arena as you're putting food and stuff back in your preparedness for disasters, as you're controlling your debt to no debt.
Yeah. Debt to income ratio, all that.
How you see everything that's happening around you, you see it from a different perspective. When you're in control versus someone's controlling you.
Exactly.
Would you agree?
Oh yeah. The wife and I have always, ever since we started working at 2 years old, we have always been thinking about retirement and putting back. And she'll tell you, I've still got my first penny I've ever earned. But I got really fortunate in our program that we've been doing, and we paid our house off last year, so now we're debt free. We just have our monthly expenses, and it has been such a blessing. And we're still making that payment, but to ourselves now, and it's adding up quickly.
Oh yeah, it will. Yeah, and the nice thing too is when you look at everything that's going on, you look at the national debt, you look at the economy, you look at You look at
what smoke screen are they throwing?
go
at this
to a
time?
grocery store and watch people shop and how little they get for twice the price. As you're putting food back and as you're controlling what you're paying
hedge
out,
on inflation.
you realize, you become more thankful and realize the blessings that you have as you gain control. That you don't have to put food back out of your buggy, and I see it all the time, and it's terrible, you know. But well, man, I hear some dishes rattling.
I do too. Somebody was stomping on the floor a minute ago, so I guess
I think we're being beckoned
summoned
to the upstairs for to go break some bread. I appreciate it, man. And,
not a problem.
I appreciate the time that we get to have these discussions, and I appreciate your insight.
Anything that I can do that helps anybody else. My daddy made me promise that a long time ago. Anything that I can do to help somebody else. If I can save one life, I have to do it. So.
Yep. Well.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Not a problem.
It's always a joy.
We'll try and do another one soon.
It's always a joy and a pleasure.
Yep.
Right. And thank you all for watching this video. Until next time, if you like this video, hit like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And thanks to the new subscribers. And no matter how bad it seems, the things that we talk about, I can promise you, you still are in the best country of 99% of the others. And be blessed, and don't forget to give thanks. Bravo, Echo out.
Peace out. Best pro shop rules.
Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal. If you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.